Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon Marcello. This is Joel A. Erickson. We're going to talk about the Auburn linebackers right now. Obviously, it's a big situation this week. Both starters, Cassanova, McKinzy, and Kris Frost, were injured in the Louisiana Tech game. Cassanova McKinzy's injury maybe looks a little bit more serious with a mild concussion. Kris Frost is a leg issue. Frost, you may remember, he got hurt early when Montravius Adams picked off that pass. He got hurt while they were returning the football, did not return. And McKinzy's issue, that's something you got to worry about a little bit.
McKinzy suffered a mild concussion, Ellis Johnson said. Anytime that happens, they're not going to let him back until he doesn't have any symptoms. I did a story in the summer, talked to Dr. Goodlett, Auburn's team doctor, who's had several concussions himself, including a very serious one. And he basically said he's not going to play around with concussions of any kind. So McKinzy did not practice today. I think that's the other big thing. McKinzy did not practice today. Frost was kind of out there moving around, and it looked like maybe if they were playing an SEC team, Frost might have been able to return.
Yeah.
Came back on the sidelines wearing his helmet. Anyway, a couple things there's been some confusion on who fits where. Anthony Swain can play both, but is more likely to play middle. Trey Williams can only play weak, and Javier Mitchell is only playing in the dime as it stands right now.
And obviously, you do not want a freshman like Trey Williams having to make calls.
No, I don't think
that would be a big thing. Trey, maybe he could play both later down the road, but that's not going to be the case this season. Definitely will not be the case against LSU.
I kind of see what they're doing with Trey Williams is trying to take some of that load off of him the way they did with McKinzy last year.
Just let him play.
Let him play, and then down the road, he's probably a middle linebacker.
Yeah, maybe so. Trey Williams, by the way, is just performing. I mean, I wouldn't say he's exceeding expectations, but he just pops on the field, doesn't he?
Yeah, he flashes. He's really fast, really good sideline to sideline. When he figures out where he's going, when he clearly knows where he's going, he's going to get there in a hurry. Hurley, I cannot talk tonight.
Hurley from Lost,
and he's very aggressive.
Yeah.
You want to see that in linebacker. It reminds me a little bit. Brandon was on the beat yet, but it reminds me a little bit of the way McKinzy played when he was a freshman. Same attacking style when he knew where he was going. So I think they're going to feel more confident with him now. Now that he's got a 7-tackle game under his belt, and start kind of working him in there a little bit more. Try to get some of those snap counts down. McKinzy and Frost had some of the highest snap counts per week out of defense.
And Ellis, even last week going into the game, kept saying how he wanted to trim those down by getting Trey Williams and then, more importantly, Anthony Swain more involved. And I don't think that's going to be a problem this coming week.
Right.
If one of those guys is unable to play, or both, obviously. Anthony Swain's going to be out there more. Let's hit on that real quick, Joel. Knowing all that and how they do things, Cassanova McKinzy's injury seems more serious. So if Cassanova McKinzy's unable to play and Kris Frost is able to play, what does the linebacker rotation look like in the 2 deep?
It'd be Swain in the middle. Javier Mitchell would probably be the backup to him. But it depends a lot of it depends on what they thought of the 2 guys this week. They could move Frost in the middle. Obviously, he's played it before. He knows the call. So if they wanted to play Trey Williams more, they could. When McKinzy was down yesterday, it might have offered a glimpse of what they want to do. Or no, when Frost was down earlier, when McKinzy was still in. Swain played some week, and then they played Trey some week, and they played. They're moving Swain and Williams in. Javier Mitchell right now is really playing only in the dime, and if Frost is back, he'll play the dime. So if Frost is back, you'd look for Anthony Swain to play the bulk of the snaps, and maybe see some Frost moving over into the middle with Trey Williams at week.
Big thing to watch with an LSU offense that is trying to spark things right now after really being looking to be in the dumps against Mississippi State. They've seemed to have made a change at quarterback. Brandon Harris, true freshman. He's done real well. It was against New Mexico State in front of his home crowd. You wonder how that offense is going to react when they go on the road in their first true SEC game of the year. A lot of NFL players left that team, but Auburn maybe have to play 1 or 2 linebackers they're not used to having to play a lot of snaps. That could be very interesting.
One other thing to note with the linebackers being out, I talked to Montravius Adams after the game last night and asked him just what it's like when those 2 guys aren't in there. He said it's a little bit different. They're used to hearing McKinzy and Frost's voices behind him, and Johnson kind of alluded to some communication issues today. So if one or both of those guys have issues and can't go as much, it changes some things. And I think that might have a lot to do with why the defense started so hot and gave up some yards later. That they lost their leaders.
You can continue to listen to our voices at AL.com. Much more coverage throughout the week. Top 15 matchup in Auburn. Big week in the SEC West.